Welcome to season number 2 here in the Salt Lake City franchise here on MLB The Show 25. Salt Lake is coming off of a pretty bad year, 43 wins, 119 losses, but we knew it would be this way in our first season and likely our second. But we made a couple of big moves in the offseason and even in season. First, starting with now our number 1 prospect, Esteban Calzado. We drafted him in the first round at pick number 13, and he is an excellent building block for the future of this pitching rotation. We ended up signing Amed Rosario in the offseason to a 2-year deal and less than $6 million per year. He's coming off of a career year where he had 27 stolen bases, and really I need a guy that's going to score runs. That's something we did not have because we do still need to put butts in our seats at the MLB level. So we signed Ryan O'Hearn as well to be a veteran first baseman with a big bat. I'm hoping that he can slug high, especially now that the reins are free. He's going to probably end up with the most at-bats he's had in a season in his career playing with Salt Lake. We signed a middle infielder with some upside potential with Gabriel Arias. He is 26 years old. He's got a really rocket arm from the infield as well. I like him coming into the fold. And then in the Rule 5 draft, we picked up Alex Ramirez, a 23-year-old Dominican outfielder who's got a lot of upside, but he's going to have to be at the MLB level. But we're going to ease him in, and he might end up platooning at least, through the first half of the year, just to ease him in to see how he does. We then traded for Luis Lara as well from the Brewers, trading them in middle infielder to kind of help their title run. And I like Lara. He's going to be a 21-year-old in our farm system to kind of develop, and we'll see what he does in spring training in a little bit. Our pitching rotation, we ended up signing Germán Márquez, Walker Buehler, along with Brian Sammons, and we added some other veteran guys to our bullpen like Ryan Yarbrough to kind of help us out here in season 2. So I want to get into some spring training highlights to look at some of the new guys. Let's start with Gabriel Arias. He is up here versus the Cincinnati Reds with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs. It can't get more clutch than this in the spring. A pitch over the middle, 97 mile an hour, and he swings through that one for a swinging strike 3. We do end up losing that game. But you can just see something is getting better with us because we are having higher hit totals, 8 hits in that one. And now we hop into another game here, bases loaded with one of our subscriber prospects in Rocky Anderson from season 1 up to the plate. But looking at these clutch moments, I think if we want to get some more wins this season, we're going to have to come through in a big way. And Rocky Anderson swings through that one low as that brings up Amed Rosario to the plate. He hits one hard to the right side. It's not going to get through the infield, and nothing doing on that situation either. So how about Alex Ramirez, the Rule 5 draft signee? He can play center field. He can play right field. I think he's got a lot of potential at only 23 years old, but another bases loaded situation here. Ground ball, and it's out at first. And I don't know what's going to happen here in season number 2, but you can just see the struggles early on in spring. We just cannot produce runs in clutch situations. But it's not all bad. Here is Luis Lara, the 21-year-old outfielder from the Milwaukee Brewers farm system, as he gets a chance here, hits one deep to right field. This one's back at the wall, and it's gone into the bullpen for a 5-0 lead in this game. But Lara's going to be an interesting player. He's got some really good speed to him, and he's only 21, like I said. He's a lefty hitting, and he also throws left as well. But he has shown some really good potential at the plate. He's actually a switch hitter. What am I saying? I don't think he just bats left, but he's going to be a guy that I really, really like, and I'm going to develop. Like I said, 21 years old. He's got about 89 MLB at-bats, so he's going to be a guy to look out for. Also, Keibert Rodriguez is going to be a guy to look out for as well. He hits this one deep over the left field wall versus the Cubs, 418 off his bat. Now, one thing about him is that he is going to be behind a couple of guys in the infield, but he's going to get every opportunity to play. He's 26 years old, has a little bit of MLB experience. And here is a young pitcher, Miracle Macklin, who we saw at the tail end of last season. He will also get an opportunity at some point this year. But on opening day, this is what our roster will look like. Ben Rice ended up hitting .290 in the spring. He was really, really good. Gabriel Arias ends up hitting below 200, and he's going to make the opening day roster. He just won't get a starting job, but Keeper Rodriguez will. I'm going to end up changing his position from third base to shortstop, and he will be the backup to Chris Taylor positional-wise, but Taylor's kind of going to probably play all around. He's a utility guy that can play every position, so Keeper Rodriguez is going to start at short quite a bit this year. Mike Antico hit really well in the spring, hit .432, so he is definitely getting the opening day nod and right. And here is what the opening lineup will look like. Amed Rosario will lead off with Alek Thomas, who led our team in average, hitting only .243 a season ago, will hit second. Ryan O'Hearn will hit 3, and then Mike Antico will hit in that cleanup spot, with Weston Wilson moving down from 3 from last year down to the 5-hitter. Then Ben Rice gets to start at DH with Henry Davis behind the dish, Keeper Rodriguez at short, and then Chris Taylor will start in left field. A little bit of a different look, but I do like Taylor all around. He can play every position, so I'm not going to just put him at short just because he's listed as a shortstop. He's going to play every single position on the ball diamond. So Germán Márquez gets the opening day starts, and like I said, we signed Brian Sammons in the offseason, Walker Buehler. We also signed Ryan Yarbrough to our bullpen. I'm just excited to see what these young guys at the bottom of our rotation will do. Julian Aguirre actually led all starters in ERA and WHIP last season, so I'm excited for what he can do as well, even though he's 5th in the rotation. Here's what the projections look like. Now, Amed Rosario comes over as a new signing. He's projected to lead our team in average, but I really don't know who is going to be the best player this year. I think last year it was clear it was going to be Alek Thomas, but I just don't know this year. So opening day versus the St. Louis Cardinals is underway here in 2026 as TJ Friedel officially gets this season underway with the ground ball to first base. The new first baseman, Ryan O'Hearn. Now here's what St. Louis looks like on opening day. They look pretty much the same as last year, to be honest with you. Not many changes from them, but we'll see if they can get, a wild card spot in the NL Central Division. Brendan Donovan comes to the plate now, hits one to right field. Mike Antico now starting in right field pretty much full time at this point. He gets the second out of the game. That brings up Wilson Contreras. Ground ball to Ryan O'Hearn with a good play at first, and he steps on the bag, and it's 1-2-3 to open 2026. So here's our new leadoff hitter, Amed Rosario, to the plate, and it's just an easy ground ball to Nolan Arenado at third. And the first out for this Salt Lake City offense is gone. As that brings up Alek Thomas to the plate now, and he will swing and miss at that splitter, fooled on that off-speed pitch. And 2 up, 2 down as it brings up Ryan O'Hearn, who pulls one. That one's foul, but he got good wood on that one, bringing it to a 2-2 pitch over the middle and a hanger, but he just gets under this one, and he just missed it. That one could have been bad news for the Cardinals, but instead it's a fly out to center field. TJ Friedel up in the top of the third inning with a runner on first. He hits one well to left center field, and it keeps carrying over the wall. 387 for the first runs of the season here for either team as Germán Márquez gives up a big fly. Márquez comes over from the Colorado Rockies as the Rockies ended up giving a big contract to Zach Gallen in the offseason, replacing Márquez for them. Here is Chris Taylor to the plate for the first hit here of 2026 for the Gulls as the top of our lineup comes to the plate. Amed Rosario, outside fastball, ball 4. And now we have a runner in scoring position. That brings up Alek Thomas. He gets one low and hits one to opposite field. That one gets down the left field line. It will score 1 and will advance the runner, Amed Rosario, to third. And we are on the board here in Season 2 as Alek Thomas comes through. As now we have runners on the corners with Ryan O'Hearn, the new signing coming over from Baltimore. Hits one to the right side. That gets through as well. Alek Thomas rounds second, heads to third, and we got ourselves a tie ball game at 2 apiece. Good hitting that time from O'Hearn. hitting away from the double play shift. And we end up getting into a situation here with Mike Antico. 1-2 pitch, and he will swing and miss at that one. And now that brings up 2 outs. Weston Wilson to the plate, and he will swing and miss as well. An outside slider, but we do get 2 on the board. And now we move on to the top of the 5th. Pedro Pages to the plate now with runners on first and second. He comes through. Alek Thomas comes up throwing, and the runner will hold that third. And now with the bases loaded, a big-time situation for Germán Márquez to get out of this scenario, as now he faces the top of their lineup. TJ Friedel to the plate now. Outside curveball, and it's going to be a fly ball to left field. And Chris Taylor, playing in left, a good throw to the cutoff man, will hold the runner at third. And now bases loaded again, and here is Brendan Donovan. He swings at this one deep to right field. Mike Antico on the run, and it just gets over his glove. It may have actually knocked off of his glove if we take a closer look. 3 runs come across the plate, and it's now 5-2. It looked like Mike Antico dropped it for a second, but it just got over his glove. He was inches away from that catch. Wilson Contreras to the plate now with 2 outs. Oh, here's another deep fly ball from Mike Antico in right field. Back at the warning track, and this time he makes the catch. Antico makes up for that last one. He was inches away from getting us out of that jam, but now it is 5-2. Alek Thomas to the plate now, 1 for 2 in this game, and make it 2 for 3. Home run, no doubter for Alek Thomas. And that goes 4-12, and he led our team in home runs a year ago and average. And he comes through right there, cutting this lead into a 2-run deficit. As now that brings up Ryan O'Hearn to the plate now with 1 out. This one's low, and it will be ball 4. So now we have a runner on first here with Mike Antico. Hit over 400 in the spring, and he is just looking at that outside fastball over the outside half of the plate. Weston Wilson with 2 outs. This one's low, and that's ball 4. So we are at least getting a lot of base runners here in the opener, and that's a really good sighting for this young team we have, along with some veterans. Ben Rice to the plate now, 1 for 2 today. He gets 1 on the outside half, pulls it deep to right field. Lars Nootbaar will get to it. Oh, man, I thought that was going to score 2 on that one and tie the ball game up. Instead, it's caught. 2 for 3 today for Alek Thomas, as that one is a swing and miss right there. Hunter Harvey now on the mound here for the Cardinals. As that brings up Ryan O'Hearn here. He hits one well, and that's a laser over the right fielder's head. It will knock off the bottom of the wall. Lars Nootbaar comes up throwing, but Ryan O'Hearn has made good contact today, and he's got a stand-up double here with 2 outs. We'll see if we can bring him in, but it looks like the skipper for the Cardinals is going to pull the pitcher here and bring in Caleb Ferguson, a lefty-on-lefty matchup to face Mike Antico. He is 0 for 2 today. We'll see if he can come through. Inside pitch, and he hits one to the left center gap. That gets all the way to the wall. It easily scores O'Hearn, who's got pretty good speed for a first baseman, by the way, with 62 speed. And Antico is up with a stand-up double and an RBI for his first ribby of the year. And now it is 5-4, and the tying run is on second base. Antico coming off of a really good second half of the year where we acquired him as just a throw-in guy, but he proved that he can play. But here is Weston Wilson. He hits one deep to left field. That sneaks over the wall and left. It's a home run. Weston Wilson comes through, and he is a hot commodity for this Salt Lake team. Remember, in the offseason, we did get a trade offer from the Milwaukee Brewers. They wanted Weston Wilson for a prospect, but we decided to keep him around knowing that he's probably going to have a lot of trade value at the deadline. But he gives us the 1-run lead as that brings up Ben Rice in this one. And Ben Rice, he pimps one deep to center field over the batter's eye. It's a home run, 470 to dead center. Ben Rice coming off of a season to forget, to be honest with you, and just absolutely crushes that one. And that's just a lefty-on-lefty matchup that he took advantage of. And he's not even known for his power versus left. It's more power versus right. And right away, the skipper pulls the pitcher out of the game. It's crazy what home runs can do to a lead here, as that brings up Henry Davis with 2 outs. And he swings that one high, but that will end a very good inning and an exciting one for the Salt Lake City Gulls. And now Germán Márquez into the 8th inning, looking to go the distance a little bit. He's given up 5 runs and he's still in the game, but he's still hovering around 90 pitches in this one, as he brings up Pedro Pages to the plate with a chance to get to the 9th inning, and that one will be a single up the middle. And at this point, we do think Germán Márquez has done enough in this one, giving up 5 runs. We kind of kept him on later than we normally would, but we have not had pitchers that could go beyond like 4 or 5 innings so far in this series. So Germán Márquez, even going 8, definitely speaks volumes to what kind of pitcher he is. So I'm excited about adding him as a veteran presence in this locker room, and I hope he can teach these young guys how to develop. Yency Almonte, another signing out of the bullpen in the offseason. He gets a fly ball to center field from Pages and will get us out of this 8th inning. Now on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Here is Chris Taylor to the plate. Started in left field today. Like I said earlier, he will play every single position, as that brings up Amed Rosario to the plate now, and he hits a chopper to third. Easy play for the third baseman, Nolan Arenado. And now we have a runner in scoring position, Alek Thomas, who is already 2 for 4 in this one, facing James Karinchak, and will hit this one deep to right field. And this one keeps going, and it's off of the warning track and off of the wall. Thomas heading around second all the way to third, and he will have himself a triple. Have a day for Alek Thomas, 3 for 5 in this one. And he gives us one more run of insurance, and we're going to need it going into the 9th inning, because our bullpen was shaky last year, and we bring back a lot of guys here in this bullpen, as Ryan O'Hearn hits a ground ball to second, and that brings us to the 9th. Now, we decided to go to the bullpen in this one and bring in Manny Rodriguez. Rodriguez was not so great last year. He was okay, but he was our designated closer, but I think we need to find a true closer. Rodriguez faces TJ Friedel, and he gets a swing and miss 4-seam fastball, 98 mile an hour on the gun that time up in the zone. So that brings up Brendan Donovan. That one is low. Because now that brings up Wilson Contreras. Not hitting the best so far to start this year, but this one is going to be hit down the right field line. That will be fair. It gets to the wall. Antico comes up throwing. The throw home will not be in time, and it's an 8-6 ball game here in the top of the 9th as the tying run comes to the plate. Nolan Gorman and Manny Rodriguez cannot find the strike zone again, the second walk of this inning. It brings up Manuel Collado, and he will check his swing. And I think the ump was not going to call a strike on that. He calls that one on the checked swing. So now that brings up Arenado. Runners on first and second. He hits one up the middle. That gets through. Alek Thomas is going to come up throwing. And the throw home will not be in time. And Contreras brings it within 1 run. And now we are in trouble. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. We have to pull Manny Rodriguez, and we bring in Ryan Yarbrough, who I decided to sign in the offseason on a pretty cheap deal. It was a 2-year, $1 million a year deal, and he faces Lars Nootbaar. This one over the middle, but it's going to just be a fly ball to Chris Taylor, and Salt Lake City comes away barely with the opening day victory. 8-7. But these are the games we did not see a year ago. This was actually pretty exciting. 11 hits for the Cardinals, 10 hits for the Gulls. But how about the slugging in this one? Because last year, we did not have many home runs. We did not have many triples, many doubles. I mean, at best, we were just hitting for singles. But I just love what we see so far in that first game. We do end up simming the second here in this first opening series of the season, and we do end up losing. But another game where we score 6 runs. I mean, these are games we just did not have last year. Justin Henry Malloy ended up playing third base, and he hit in that cleanup spot. He went 1 for 4 with a run. I just like getting these young guys some playing time also. So now on to game 3. This is something we did not do last year at all. And Ben Rice hits a solo home run in the second inning and gives us a 1-run lead. You know, one thing we didn't do is this, quick manage, and I really like using this feature. Justin Henry Malloy comes through with a RBI single. Weston Wilson does as well. So it is 3-0 as Walker Buehler makes his debut here with Salt Lake City. And he's pitching pretty well so far through 4 innings until that 4th inning where he gives up 2 runs. As now we move on to the 5th. It's a 3-2 ball game here for Salt Lake City. As here's Walker Buehler still pitching pretty well besides that 2-run 4th inning, and then a 2-run home run by Ben Rice. His second of the game. He is 2 for 3 with 2 homers in this one. As now Walker Buehler is still on the mound. He's still going strong. 4 hits given up in this one. As we move on to the 9th inning, is Justin Henry Malloy ends up getting a double, and now we have a 3-run lead. Walker Buehler gives up a single, gives up 2 singles, and right now I'm thinking about pulling them, and we will do that, as now they have runners on first and second. Another scenario in the 9th inning where the Cardinals are down by 3. Could they come back this time and perhaps tie it up? But Ryan Yarbrough comes in, gets an out, then gives up a walk, and then we get the win. 5-2 as Ben Rice does go deep twice, and Walker Buehler almost goes the distance. He goes 8 innings. And how about this team so far? Ben Rice in particular, 2 home runs in that game. That's 3 on the year. We saw the 470 bomb to dead center. And now I decide to finish out this series here, this opening series, just focusing on Ben Rice, because hitting 3 homers in 3 games, definitely got to see if this is just a heat check in this one. As he comes up to the plate, leading the league in homers so far through the first few games of the year. 3 home runs to everybody else's 2. But looking at the numbers last year, he only had 5 home runs the entire year a year ago. He's going to face Suarez, who signed with the Cardinals on a 5-year, $30 million a year deal, as he faces them in the bottom of the 2nd inning. This is a low pitch in the dirt, and that one will be a good eye as the runner will advance onto second base. So now we have a runner in scoring position here as Ben Rice continues this AB, a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Remember the last lefty-on-lefty matchup, he went to dead center. This one over the middle of the plate, and he hits this one a mile down the right field line. It is fair and gone. Ben Rice again. His 4th of the season, and he is officially on fire at this point, leading the MLB in home runs in this young season, but it's good to see him hitting the ball well. If he can continue the way he's hitting and can really develop that power and really be a threat at that 4 or 5 spot, right now he's hitting in that 6th spot, which is a position I really like him in because I can use him to drive in runs there towards, like I said, the middle to bottom of the order, and I think that he's got some potential there hitting 6 in this lineup. He does strike out 2 times in a row after that home run, and then he makes it a 3rd. A home run with 3 strikeouts, but a big home run early set the tone for the rest of the game, and the Salt Lake City Gulls will go on to win 6-1 and win the opening series of the season. It feels good to start winning, but we all know we're still in a rebuilding phase, but it's kind of cool to be as competitive as we are, as Ben Rice, the young guys, Alec Thomas, Mike, I can't even say his name here, but everybody's doing everything right so far. Even Walker Buehler, a guy that was maybe forgotten about, he's actually shown up so far too. But the funny thing is, even though we're 3-1, everybody else is 3-1 or 4-1 or 4-2. We are still 4th in our division, which is actually really funny. Luis Lara so far at AAA is hitting 308s. He's the guy I want to focus on next episode, along with a lot of our other young guys. And I want to focus on now our top prospects, because now we have some legitimate top 100 prospects, starting with our top draft pick a year ago, Esteban Calzado. He is ranked number 25 in the top 100, which is actually really cool. His ETAs this year, I just don't think he's going to make his debut at the MLB level this year unless he just absolutely blazes through AA and AAA. We'll see. Calvin Almquist, too. He is a top 100 prospect. He is number 50. So we finally have 2 top 100 prospects in our organization, and they are going to be the only 2 in the top 100, but at least we have that now. As you can see, this is going to be an exciting year. We are going to kind of follow the same format as last year, a lot of player locking, a lot of player focusing, and prospect highlighting, things like that. But it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to score some runs, we're going to pitch well, and hopefully we are just competitive this year. And I want to continue to develop these guys in this organization. So I hope you enjoy the opener to season 2, and we'll have more coming up soon. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.